Ooh.
That's wrong.
Just for the video, let me explain where we're at. So we are doing exercise number 8 in, this is lesson what, 4? No, not lesson 4. I meant lesson number 11. That's right. So exercise number 8, lesson 11, number 23. Sallamna ala, we understood sallamna came from form 2. That's why it has a shadda in the middle. It means to greet someone. And it only means to greet someone when you see the harf jar ala afterwards. So sallamna means we greeted when used with the word ala afterwards. The next word you got wrong, can you try explaining that? Rationale? If you said ala khadimati, what would that mean? Ala khadimati. What does khadimati mean?
It could mean
my servant, my female servant. Okay, that's not wrong inherently, but if you look at the next one, the next words,
say my servant,
the mother of the Khalifa. The mother of the Khalifa is not your mom. It's not your servant.
So I'm thinking like,
can it not still be
khadimati?
Very good. Khadimate. What were you saying?
Why couldn't it still be khadimati?
Okay, so what would it mean?
Plural?
Plural feminine doesn't come with yanun. Plural feminine comes with? Plural feminine comes with? Atun. So the plural of khadimatun would be khadimat. And khadimat, of course, doesn't have a noon to be lost. Right? So this cannot be plural feminine. So your only option actually left is khadimatay, which is the 2 slave servants of the mother of the Khalifa. Very good. Sallamna ala khadimatay ummil Khalifa. This is the only rational answer left of what this could possibly mean. So it's a filtration process. We saw khadimati. Theoretically, it's possible that this is khadimati, but it doesn't make sense if you factor in Umm al-Khalifa. It can't be khadimatina because there's no plural feminine that has a noon. Plural would be khadimat. So your only option is dual, khadimate. Very nice. Let's try number 24. We already did that. Let's do 25.
24?
We did 24. Sami'tu, just read it. Taqi, read it for us. Sami'tu, khash.
Oh, we're doing it.
Oh, didn't do it.
Sami'tu khashkhashata qadqadi salim.
Okay, do you remember what these words mean? Screech.
Oh, screeching of Salim's brakes.
Of Salim's brakes. Qab is a, I heard, khashkhashata. Qabqabi Salimin. Yeah, this is modern Arabic. Like the translation we've given. That's the only translation that makes sense to me. It could mean something else hypothetically. Let's go to 25. Try this one. We did this, by the way, last time, but I don't think you did it. Can you try? So we know khayyat is, right? Tailor. So we see a ya. Okay. Okay. Say that again. I don't know what you said at the end of thiyab. Thiyabun jahizatun. That's correct. But that's not the only option. That's not the only thing that could be correct. So he said, عند خياطي القرية ثياب جاهزة. What would that mean?
The 2 tailors of the city
Yeah, inda in this context means physical possession. Inda means physical
So the
possession.
2 tailors of the city own
Or have.
or have ready cloths.
Clothes, right? Ready garments, like garments that don't need to be tailored. What's another possibility, Taqi? Khayati. Khayati is also the other possibility. This is probably what's intended here because the
How
village.
would Khayati?
Khayati.
Khayati, like,
Yeah, how do we pronounce it?
how do you translate it?
The tailors, not the 2 tailors. The many tailors. This is originally Khayati. Okay. We did number 26 already. لكلام خطيب المسجد أثر بليغ. Taqi, what does this mean? Forward. You guys should just translate li most of the time says has or have. It's much easier.
The Khatib of the Masjid has
لكلامي.
the speech of
The words of the
the words of the Khatib of the Masjid have
athar. What is athar? Impression. Athar actually can mean like remnants. Athar can also mean footsteps. And we also call the words of the Prophet ﷺ the athar. The athar of the Prophet ﷺ are the hadith. Athar is another word for ahadith. Yeah, but it's a little more specific. It's a little more general than the word ahadith. We can also say athar with regards to the Sahabi's words, right? We normally say fi athar Abu Bakr Siddiq. You can say that, for example. But athar, like you said, impression. You can say effect as well, right?
I forgot how we said
Baligh. Baligh comes from what root letters? Good. And balagha means what? To reach. So baligh, kalam that's baligh, speech that is eloquent, it actually reaches up until a person's heart. So it's one reason that we call it baligh. If we look it up real quick. Where is it? Baligh, eloquent, intense, lasting, deep, profound, serious. Let's continue. What's our next one? 27. It's 27.
سلامة الإنسان في حفظ اللسان.
سلامة الإنسان في حفظ اللسان. Beautiful rhyming phrase. We just learned salamatun. And what type of word is salamatun? Masdar. What does it mean? Safety, right? So the safety, the perseverance
of people,
of humankind,
is,
or you can say the safety of man is in
the guarding of the tongue.
yes, in protecting and guarding the tongue. Safety, security, and longevity of human existence, long term, after life, long term, lies in the protection of the tongue. Okay, 28. We know this one. That's very self-evident. Let's do 29. أبناء عمي محمود. Okay. You see that word صادق الحديث. You didn't read the wow because when it's connected to something afterwards, we skip it. But it's only through writing that you can know that this is not singular. Because the singular version of صادق الحديث is also what? صادق الحديث. So you have to know just through context sometimes that this is jama' and not singular. أبناء عمي محمود. What does this mean?
The kids of Mahmoud's uncle, uncle, are truthful in speech.
Yes, are truthful in speech. Very good. Hadith. Hadith is a new word. We've never really looked up hadith. It obviously comes from some root. What are the root letters? Hadath. Ever heard of hadath? What's hadath?
Something that happens. Yep.
Okay, yeah, something that happens. Hadatha means something happened, right? To happen, to occur. In form 2, how would we pronounce it? Haddatha yuhaddithu. And the one who does haddatha would be called a muhaddith. So you understand what haddatha means? If you know what muhaddith means? What's haddatha? To tell, to relate, to report, to speak. So muhaddith technically is one that tells the statements and knows the statements of the Prophet ﷺ to exemplary standards. And then we have the word hadith. We have the word tahaddatha. Many words that we're going to be using that are related to this world. We have al-hadath fil fiqh, al-hadath al-asghar, or al-hadath al-akbar. You guys know what those terms mean? Al-hadath al-asghar or al-hadath al-akbar. What's al-hadath al-asghar? What's al-hadath al-asghar?
It's minor impurity.
So anytime you break your wudu is al-hadath al-asghar. And al-hadath al-akbar is when you break your ghusl. You have to go make ghusl. Hadith is something literally that means new. Because when something happens, it just happened, it's new. So hadith is also used to refer to human speech because human speech continually, routinely happens. It's like an event that is expected at all times. Okay, let's continue. Number 20, 30. Oh, it's a tough one. Yes. Zahrin Narjisi. Narjis. It's a type of flower. It's the narcissus plant. Right?
Why is it question?
It's a daffodil. Okay, so that's Narjis right there.
Really?
Yeah.
So why didn't they just say that?
I don't know.
Why is it
I think
narcissus?
they just use the scientific term.
It's not just.
That's this right here.
But what does it like mean? Like, is there a name for
Narcissus. I mean, in English, the word is narcissus.
Oh, why is it those letters in Arabic, you mean?
No.
Like
is that the plant of that one dude who died and he became a plant or whatever because he liked it by himself?
What?
No, I don't know about that story.
I think the guy was named Narcissus or whatever.
That's narcissist.
No, the guy. Like,
Oh, so the one who actually was a narcissist, he had these
like,
plants?
He like looking at himself so much. I think he died at the lake that he would look at himself and where he died that plant goes somewhere like that.
Wow, subhanAllah.
It's like a Greek mythology.
Etymology narcissist. I think we can just do etymology.
Yeah, whether
Yes, maybe
he fell in love with his own reflection.
Wow, this is Greek mythology. I can't believe you know this. Yeah, but they don't mention the plant. This is odd. Alright, so we have in the ba'i'i Zahrin Narjisi. Now the word Zahar in actuality, it just means one. Regularly it means flower, but we can also use it in plural to mean the plural, which is what they've done here. Okay. And the ba'i'i Zahrin Narjisi. باقات رائعة. باقات. Bouquet. Right, so how do we translate this? How do we translate عند first off?
Ownership.
Yeah, it has, right? So
the florist or the seller of the daffodil has great bouquets.
yes, very, very nice. Has great bouquets. Let's do 31. Jami'atu. Let's look up. A lot of people have trouble pronouncing Damascus in Arabic. Is it faster? It's right here. It's at the top. Dimash. Yeah, now, in some slangs, they might say Dimashq, right? And that's actually technically okay. I just wanted to bring that up because if you don't tell people, then they start thinking that they're right and everyone else is wrong. It's used both ways in Arabic. So Jami'atu Dimashq. What haraka should Dimashq have? Dhamma? Why Dhamma? No, I'm saying at the end, what state should this word be in? Majrur, why? Mudaf ilayna. How do we show that? Kasra, but this word is غير منصرف. So we'll say Jami'atu Dimashqa. Because remember, غير منصرف now takes the jarsi with the fatha. Like Ibrahima, Nasihatu Ibrahima, right? Jami'atu Dimashq al-Jadida. Jadida. Two, what would that mean? The new Damascus University. But if it said Jami'atu Dimashq al-Jadidati, what would this mean? The University of New Damascus. Both of these are possibilities linguistically. What they're referring to, I'm not certain. But you should just know linguistically, both of those are permitted. Al-Jadidati is what we'll stick. Al-Jadidatu is what we'll stick with. The new University of Damascus. Fi what? Mintaqa. Let's just look that up so that we can resolve the slang. It comes from what root letters? Nataqa, which means what? No. You know Nataqa. فَوَرَبِّ السَّمَاءِ وَالْأَرْضِ إِنَّهُ لَحَقٌّ مثل ما أنكم تنطقون وما ينطق عن الهوى. To speak, right? نطق means to speak. ينطق نطق نطوق منطق means to speak. Now we're looking for the word منطق. No.
So it's neighborhood.
انطق. That's the word we're looking for. The kasra. انطق. Okay, it's an area. Yeah. Oh man, منطقة محتلة, occupied territory. They got this in this era. Look, منطقة محتلة, منطقة الاحتلال, occupied territories. All right, of course, that term wasn't only used for Palestine, but most likely in Arabic, that was where it was most pertinent. في منطقة نظيفة. How can we translate? New University of Damascus is in a clean district, clean area. Okay, 32. عليه السلام.
He's not gonna know.
Oh, good, because that's a separate sentence on its own.
Yeah.
It's a sentence in the middle of this sentence, but just like in English, right? May peace be upon him.
Yeah.
What's the end? Mu'minuna. How can we translate?
The riders of Nuh alayhi salam's ship
Are believers. Good. Can you read the next one, Wa'il? Try the next one, Wa'il. 33. Oh.
عين الأمير عين الأمير
Just guess.
حسناء. I don't know. حسناء.
Yeah, Hasna.
حسناء.
Hasna.
E كبيرتان وسوداوان.
Oh, what does this mean?
So the eyes of what's Hasna?
Hasna, think of the root letters.
Oh,
right.
The eyes of the yeah.
Yes, comes from Ainani. What would the plural of that be? عيون or لهم قلوب لا يفقهون بها ولهم أعين. So عين الأميرة الحسناء.
So the eyes, two eyes of the Amira, the leader.
We'll just call her princess.
The beautiful princess.
Mm-hmm.
Are big and black.
Yes. Sawdawani is the dual of what? Sawda'u. So what would the dual of Bayda be? Baydawani, Sawdawani, Zarqawani, Hamrawani, so on and so forth. Basically, if you look at the word Sawda, it ends in Hamza. That Hamza transforms into a Waw if it's dual. Okay. Number 34. It's a tough one. It's actually easy. Say that again. Qabaltu. Pause. What type of word is Qabaltu? What type of word is this? It's a verb. It's a Maldi verb. Why is it different to regular verbs?
4 letters.
Okay. Any more specific details? It's a complex verb. What's complicated about it? Fa'altu. Okay, so the wazan, the scale is fa'altu instead of fa'altu, meaning there's an additional alif after the first letter, which means it's form 3. In form 3, we always add an alif after root letter number 1. So qabaltu. Qabaltu, we looked it up in our other class. It came from the root letters qaf, ba, lam. In regular form, what does qaf, ba, lam mean? Not qabala. Qabila, yaqbalu means qabiltu.
Before.
Qabiltu. Accept. Good. Qabul. So we have qabila, which means to accept. Then we have form 2. How would we say this in form 2? Qabbala, which means to kiss.
Right.
And then form 3, qabala, means to come face to face to meet with someone. Muqabala means to meet with someone face to face. So qabaltu, okay?
I met.
Okay, let's read the Arabic. Akhawat. What type of word is akhawat? Okay, it's plural. What type of plural?
Sound feminine.
Sound feminine plural. Okay. What did we learn about sound feminine plurals? No, they're not ghair munsarif. What we learned about them.
They don't take that.
That's right. No, that's right. So they don't take fatha in the nasab state. Instead, they take kasra. So, for example, Ra'aytul muslimati. Very good. It said muslimata. So the nasab state is shown with a kasra. This word, what state should it be in? The nasab state, because it's who you're meeting. So qabaltu akhawati zawji Zaydan. What would this mean?
I met the sisters.
The sisters
of Zayd's wife.
Yes. I met the sisters of Zayd's wife, meaning I met Zayd's sisters-in-laws. In-law. Sisters-in-law. Fi
سوق الأحذية.
Very good. سوق الأحذية. What's سوق الأحذية? حذاء. حذاء. Yeah. So أحذية is the plural of حذاء. So في سوق الأحذية in the shoe store. Okay, cool.
Shoe market, right?
Yeah, the shoe market.
How do you say store?
We did number 35. Yes. Ra'isu Wuzara'i Pakistan. Can you guys explain?
Right?
No. Yes.
The minister of immigration.
Not Suhufaini. Suhufi. No. It's not dual. What's Suhufiyina? mean?
Newspapers.
صحفيين. I don't know.
Yeah, let's look this up. These are modern words, which is good because they may not appear in the Quran, but certainly they're important words. So we have sahifa, we have suhufi. Suhufi and sahafi are newspapers, journalistic. How do we say journalist? Sihafi, sihafa. So suhufi we can understand as newspaper. Now, suhufiyyaini is what you said. Let's translate it that way.
صحفيين.
Suhufiyyaini. Let's just do what he said. Suhufi, newspaper. So how do we translate the whole thing?
So the
Ra'is. What's a Ra'is?
the head.
Ministry. I don't know.
The head, okay. The leader of
Prime Minister.
the prime minister. Why? Because wuzara means
The other ministers.
ministers. So Ra'isul Wuzara is what?
The prime minister.
The prime minister. That's how you say prime minister in Arabic. So the prime minister of Pakistan is in what's Mu'tamar?
It was like
Conference.
The conference of
the two newspapers.
the two newspapers. Suhufiyina, if you said it that way, it would mean the conference of the journalists.
Which one is right? Either one?
They're both
Press
press conference room. Yeah, that's where he's at. Okay.
I think it's actually on the
Handswear, right? Now, if you look in Handswear, where's there you go. Mu'tamar Suhufi is a press conference. So he's in the press conference. All right, nice. Number 20 is 36. We did this, but let's try it again. Partially. Sami'atu Sawta. Correct?
Wrong?
No, it's fine. It's fine.
بكاء الأطفال
Mm-hmm.
من غرفة النوم.
Very good. سمعت صوت بكاء الأطفال من غرفة النوم. I.
Heard the crying of the kids from the bedroom.
Very good. Yeah, I heard the sound of the children's crying from this bedroom. Okay. 37. دكاكين ال. Yes. Good. Mm-hmm. Good. دكاكين البقالين الجديدة في السوق الكبيرة means the new بقال. What's بقال? Help us out. It's in the Quran. What are the root letters? Okay. Baql in the Quran is where? قالوا ادع لنا ربك يخرج لنا مما تنبت الأرض من بقل. So you know from the translation of the Quran, what does baqal mean?
Grocery store.
Baqala is a grocery store. Baqal, what is baqal? In baqaliha. Baqal in the Arabic language, as you said, refers to greenery. And the greenery that it refers to is herbs. Baqal, it really just means herbs and greens. Okay, so baqala today is a grocery store because that dude who was selling herbs expanded and started selling other things, but he's still a baqal. Okay, so al-baqalina, how can we translate the whole thing now? Start with the sifa.
The new grocery stores are in.
So not the new grocery stores literally. I know this is what it means.
What's the kakin?
The kakin is the plural of dukkan.
Ah, okay.
So the new
Stores of herbs.
no baqal is a
Greenery.
baqal is the grocer himself.
Oh.
So just like you remember what tabakh means,
Yeah.
someone that deals with cooking. So what's a baqal?
Somebody who
A grocer?
Yeah, a grocer. Someone who sells. You know, in Urdu you'd say sabzi wala. I don't know if you have something similar in your language, but the dude who sells greens. So the new stores of the grocers.
Oh.
Why not the grocer's new store?
Yeah,
Because they both end in Qatar. Like they both nasab, right? So how would you know?
because here's the thing. Al-Baqalin
Al.
is masculine.
Okay.
And al-Jadidatu is feminine.
Okay, I got you. So it's a source. I got you.
Good, because this is human, right? These are humans. This is not human. So the new stores of the grocers
are in the big market.
Why is it al-Kabirati instead of al-Kabiri?
Because
No,
it's
it's-
No,
Sultan.
no, mudaf.
no, why is it not fi suq al-Kabiri?
Oh, because it's
Suq was one of the examples they gave us in the masculine and feminine chapter of a word that's feminine even though it doesn't end in ta.
I got you.
Like hand.
The Arab usage.
Yeah, just by usage.
I
Very
got
good.
you.
Suq was one of them.
I got you.
All right. Let's try 37.
عند معلم
عند
معلم مدرسة البنات كتب دينة كتب دينة أو دينية كتب دينية كثيرة
كتب
بن
yes كتب دينية
كثيرة
كثيرة يعني عند معلمي مدرسة البنات كتب دينية كثيرة means
the teachers of the girls' school have many
religious books. Very good. Let's try number 39.
المصنف
We did this, by the way, but let's do it again.
المصنف
Musannif is a word I taught you. Musannif comes from what root letters? Sud, Sad, Nun, Fa, and Sanafa. Where's Sanafa? Alright, Sanafa, as you can see, is not really used. We use it really in form 2. Sannafa means to write a book. So what do you think a musannif is? An author. Very good. So لمصنف هذا الكتاب what would that mean?
This book's author has.
This book's author has. What does he have? Fa. Okay, good. Read the whole thing. Good. So what is fahmun?
Understanding.
Thaqib is in the Quran. Where is it? An-Najm al-Thaqib. I met a man whose name was Najm al-Saqib. His whole name was Najm al-Saqib. People take great inspiration from the Quran.
It's a pretty cool name.
It's a cool name. You know, another author, I just read his book the other day. His name was Sania Snain. His name was Sania Snain. S-A-N-I-S-A-Y-N or something. Okay. Thaqaba yath. New word. Let's check it out. Thaqaba. That's a you. Yathqubu. Means
to bore or to drill.
to pierce, to puncture. So fahmun thaqibun is what? What does that even mean? We got to look up thaqib. If you look up thaqib, it might say penetrating, sharp for the mind. So when we use it for the mind, it means sharp.
Mental acuteness, right?
Yes, very good. So fahmun thaqibun, what does this mean? The author of this book has
Sharp understanding.
yeah, he's intelligent. Okay, wa ra'yun. Anyone know what ra'yun means? Opinion. What's sadid?
Straight.
Good. What does sadid come from? Sadda yasuddu. What does sadda yasuddu mean?
To plug up to stop.
It looks like it has too many meanings. So let's just skip to the next paragraph and try to find sadid. Okay? Sometimes when a word is too complicated, the best thing to find out is the original, like the word you're looking for, and then find the connection later. Sadid means
Hitting the target.
apposite, apt. It's apt, like it's good. Okay? Pat, pertinent, relevant, right, correct. So what do you think it means here? Wara'yun sadidun.
Correct opinion.
He has the right opinions, yes. They hype in him, bro. His students wrote this. An author wouldn't write that about themselves. Okay, let's try 40. Now, when you lose harakat, this is what you run into. You run into this problem where you're not sure what that first word is. What are some options? Khadama, khadima, like a verb. Okay? If we look up the verb, let's just figure out the bab real quick. Let's look up the verb. We have khadama yakhdimu and khadama yakhdumu. It's masdar is khidma, which means to serve. So it could be khadama. If it is a verb, khadama, here's the problem. Let's read it.
The kids of Amir.
Okay, still, that's not a big problem. They do khidma of their parents too. Khadama awladul amiri jalisuna. You see how that doesn't make sense?
Yeah.
Why?
Because it just doesn't make sense. They served, like the kids of the Amir served while sitting.
Yeah, and then that word's in the rafa'at state, so it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So this means that the word khadama is not here actually khadama. It's khadamun. Look at this. It's a noun. Khadamun means
Servants.
yes. Khadamun is a noun. So khadamu makes much more sense. Let's try it that way.
So خدموا أولاد الأمير جالسون في ظل شجرة طويلة.
Oh, very good, mashallah. خدموا أولاد الأمير جالسون في ظل شجرة طويلة. What would that mean?
The servants of the kids of the Amir or the prince are sitting in the
Amir can mean general too. Yeah, it's fine.
shade
Can mean governor too. Are sitting in
the shade of a tall tree.
Very good, mashallah. 41. You think we can get through all these? Ummal, you found the answer right. Ummal is a plural of what?
عمل.
Amilun. Very good. Ummal. Okay, Ummalu.
مصانع البلد
Uh-huh.
واقفون على باب قصر الملك.
What does this mean?
The workers
of the
building?
factory of the
Not the factory.
Factories of the country.
village.
Yeah, no, the country.
Of the country is fine.
Because Beled is bigger, right?
Yeah.
It's fine.
The country are standing at the door of the castle of the king.
Good. At the door of the king's castle.
Striking.
So, man.
Ummal. All right, 40.
It's not Ummalu or Ummali, just.
It's Ummalu here because it's mudaf, right? 42 was.
وزير الخارجية.
Let's skip this one for now. I'm tired of the political examples. I want to do to the Quran ones.
أزواج رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم أمهات المؤمنين.
Very good. That's easy. How can we translate?
The wives of Rasulullah
So I said are the mothers of the believers. Let's try our last one today. That's no, that's actually a typo. It should be Hassan or Hussein. Asdiqa'u. Let's just pretend it's Hassan. Hassan. Good. أصدقاء حسن الأغنياء. Can I say الأغنياء? No, because why can't I make that a sifa to Hassan? It's plural. Very good. They don't match in singularity. So أصدقاء حسن الأغنياء جالسون في صحن. في صحن. Okay. Let's look it up. No, actually, by the way, sahan is actually a plate as well in Arabic. And they're both the same thing in reality. It's just an empty space. So let's look. Yes. So sah. Look at sahan, bowl, and courier. It's the same thing. في صحن البيت مع أقرباء الوزير. Very good. So the
friends of Hassan, the wealthy friends of Hassan, are sitting in the courtyard of the house with the
The relatives.
The relatives of the minister.
Yeah. Okay. Very nice. So we're done with exercise number 8. We're gonna skip exercise number 9. Okay. And what we will do is go ahead and look at exercise number 10. My favorite. It's the Quranic one.
Identify the wealth of praise. First term, second.
But then it means mudaf ilayh. Okay? We're gonna try to translate what we can. Wallahu waliyul muttaqin is number 1. Waliyul muttaqin is our mudaf ilayh. What's wali?
The guardian or
The guardian, the protector of al-muttaqin,
the fear, the one who fear
the
Allah.
God-fearing, right? Okay, number 2.
We are the 2 messengers of your Lord.
Very good. So our mudaf would be Rasulullah. Very good. Number 3.
فساء مطر المنذرين.
فَسَاءَ مَطْرُ الْمُنذَرِينَ. What's our mudaf? Very good. Anyone know what sa'a means?
Evil?
Okay, so sa'a we're translating. Is that anyone's car?
Doesn't sound here.
It sounds far.
It sounds pretty far.
Okay. Sa'a means how horrible, how evil, how wretched. Sa'a مَطْرُ الْمُنذَرِينَ, therefore it means how evil is
The rain of
Yeah, I was thinking,
those,
the rain of al-mundarin,
those who are warned.
those who are warned. From indhar. This comes from form 4. If you look up the root letters nadhara, in form 4 it would be andhara, and andhara means to warn. And mundarin is the ismun maf'ul, those that were warned. Number 4.
قل أعوذ برب الناس.
قل أعوذ برب الناس.
برب الناس.
رب الناس. How can we translate?
Lord, say I seek refuge in the Lord of the people.
Very good. Number 5. Naqatullah. This is
the she-camel
of Allah coming to you as a sign. لا أقسم بيوم القيامة. Good. I
swear
by the day of judgment. By the day of standing, literally. Qiyamah, standing.
Right.
Yeah. وَذَلِكَ جَزَاءُ الظَّالِمِينَ.
This is the جزاء الظالمين. So of that.
Jaza.
Consequence.
The consequence, the payback, the recompense, the payment. We can just say payment for ease's sake. The payment of the oppressors, the wrongdoers. Very good. قُتِلَ أَصْحَابُ الْأُخْدُودِ.
The people or the friends.
Ashab, we're not going to translate as friends. We'll just say the people.
The people.
Yeah. The people of, what is Ukhdud? The trenches. Were killed. Very good.
This last week at
Very nice. إِذَا جَاءَ نَصْرُ اللَّهِ وَالْفَتْحِ. نصر Allah. When the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the opening, the victory approaches. إِنَّا أَنزَلْنَاهُ فِي لَيْلَةِ الْقَدْرِ. ليلة القدر is our مضاف إليه. هل أتاك حديث الجنود? What is junud? Good, very good. So حديث الجنود would be what? The speech or the story, the event, right? أولئك لهم جنات عدن. جنات عدن. What does this mean?
For them.
What is أولئك?
أولئك is the plural of ذلك.
For them is
those people, lahum, for them, is... I don't know, what is Aden? You can figure that one out. We translate it sometimes as Eden. That's what they say, Gardens of Eden. What is Aden? Inshallah, we'll talk about that later. وَإِذْ أَخَذَ اللَّهُ مِيثَاقَ النَّبِيِّينَ. ميثاق النبيين. You know what mithaq is? Covenant of the prophets. Remember when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala took the covenant of the prophets. إِنَّ اللَّهَ فَارِقُ الْحَبِّ وَالنَّوَى. Number 14. Not just faliqul hab.
One now or the wow?
One nawa, because the wow carries over this mudaf here. Anyone know what al-hab means?
Seed.
Seed. What is faliq?
Splitter.
Splitter. Good, right? We have the root letters in the Quran elsewhere in Surah Al-Falaq. Falaq. Falaqa. What does falaq mean?
Splitting. Is it the masdar?
برب الفلق.
No.
Falaq is an mushtaq. It's like a regular noun that came from the verb which means daybreak. Because it splits. There's a clear division, distinction that's happening between the day and the night when the day breaks out.
So the masdar is like what?
Falq.
Falaq.
And falaqa means to split. Faliq, therefore, would be who?
The splitter.
The splitter. Very good. So, in Allah, faliqul habbi would be?
Indeed, Allah is the one who splits. Is the splitter
The splitter
of the seed.
of the seed. One nawa. Nawa is a different type of seed. Nawa is the seed that you would have, which sometimes in English we call a pit. You ever heard of
So
that?
it's like the outside, like not the.
No. You ever heard of the dates may contain an occasional pit? You know how they write that on the dates packaging? So a pit is just a harder stone type seed that's just like the peach pit. A seed that's not consumed typically because of how hard it is. Wallahu yad'u ila dar salam. Dar salam. What does this mean?
And Allah calls
towards the
house of Salam.
The house of peace, the abode of peace. 16 means no, not just that. Ayatul kitab al-mubin means this. Those are
signs
the verses. Let's say
of the clear book.
of the clear book. Good. قال أسلمت لرب العالمين. He said. We just looked up aslamtu. You guys remember? I submit. I resign myself to.
The Lord of the world.
So our mudaf ilayhi Rabbul Alamin. Allahu nuru samawati wal ardi. Yes. What does this mean?
Allah is the light of the heavens and
Now, as you can understand, the Quran is actually a little bit easier than our examples that we've been doing, which is a good sign. You want your Arabic to be harder. Then, like, you want your base knowledge to be higher than the bare minimum to understand a bit of the Quran. إن زلزلة الساعة شيء عظيم.
The earthquake will be
indeed the shaking of the hour.
Yeah, the earthquake of the hour is a great event, or is a great thing. فما تنفعهم شفاعة الشافعين. What does that mean?
So the intercession of the intercessors will not benefit you.
Not benefit
Them.
Very good. The intercession of the intercessors will not benefit them. Nafa means to benefit. Ma here is very interestingly used before a present tense verb. That's totally fine in Arabic. And
could that I have a different meaning?
No.
Like, could it be a question?
No. You would have that. No, it's not used like that. It's not understood that way. But what's important to understand is ma typically comes before past tense verb to negate. And ma and la come before present tense verb to negate. So for example, إن الله عنده المساء وينزل الغيث ويعلم ما في الأرحام وما تدري. Ma tadri means does not know. So you see ma before present tense verb in Surah Luqman's ending as well. But la does not appear before a past tense verb, on the other hand, except for a few reasons. Do you understand the difference, Wa'il? Ma is used before past tense, like ma akaltu. La is used before present tense, like la akulu. Ma is also used before present tense, like ma akulu, ma tanfa'uhum, ma tadri nafsun. But la is not used before past tense except for a few reasons, or in a few cases. So y'all understand the distribution, right? Ma and la, present tense, okay. Past tense only ma is used typically, except in a few cases where la would be used with the past tense. And one of those situations is whenever in the Quran or in Arabic in general, you have more than one past tense verb that needs to be negated. So imagine if I said ma akaltu. I would never say la akaltu unless I said la akaltu wa la sharibtu. You see how there's more than one past tense verb? For example, in the Quran, you can always remember فَلَا صَدَّقَ وَلَا صَلَّى. You see la there before a past tense verb because there's more than one negation happening of the past tense. Another time you would do this in Arabic is in order to make a dua against someone. You would use la before past tense. Like if I see Iblis in my dream and I pull up on him, I would say, La rahimakallah. What does that mean? No, it's a dua. Just like when you make dua for someone, you always use past tense in Arabic. Like rahimahullah. Allah had mercy on him. And you use past tense because past tense has more power. There's no doubt about it. It's almost like it's already happened. Yeah, so when I said La rahimakallah to Iblis, that means may God never have mercy on you. So you can use la before past tense verb for a dua. Anyhow, number 21, وَلَقَدْ جَاءَكَ مِن نَبَإِ الْمُرْسَلِينَ نَبَإِ الْمُرْسَلِينَ, which means what? The what? What's naba? Naba. News. Okay. Naba al-Mursaleen. The news of the messengers. لَقَدْ جَاءَكَ. And certainly has come to you from. What's a better way to translate that? Okay, very good. فَمَنْ يَعْمَلْ مِثْقَالَ ذَرَّةٍ خَيْرًا يَرَهُ. What does this mean?
Whoever does
Yeah, so Adam's weight, مِثْقَالَ ذَرَّةٍ. Adam's weight. Mithqal comes from. Okay, so what is thaqila? To be heavy. Mithqal starts with a mim kasra. You guys remember what mithqal is used, or mim kasra is used for? Okay, so mithqal is actually a weight, something that helps you gauge the weight of something, right? Now, dharra in the Arabic language, ever heard of that? You've heard of Abu Dharr al-Ghifari, radiyallahu anhu. Very nice. So dharr comes from dharra yadurru, which means to sprinkle. Okay, like dust. Dharra in the Arabic is an atom, like what I just mentioned. There's other meanings that it used to have. Back in the day, dharra was like the smallest imaginable thing, right? Mustard seed was not actually called a dharra. It was not. Like here, you see the weight of a dust particle. Just a tiny, tiny, unimaginable small thing. So mithqala dharratin means whomsoever did the slightest degree khayran, out of goodness or of goodness, yarahu, such a person will see that goodness. Okay. وَأَنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يُضِيعُ أَجْرَ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. And that Allah la yudi'u. Do you know what that means, Taqi?
Will not lose?
Will not waste.
Will not waste. Because it's form 4. Da'a means to be lost.
Right.
Ada'a yudi'u means to waste. Allah will not waste the ajr, the what? The reward of the believers. وَأَنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يَهْدِي كَيْدَ الْخَائِنِينَ. كَيْدَ الْخَائِنِينَ. What's kaid? Plan. And what's kha'in? You know this. Why? This is common usage in Arabic. Inte kha'in. Cheater. So it comes from khana. You know those khan babas, right?
What is it? The dad of the cheater? Cheating dad? Cheating dad? That's crazy.
Khana yakhunu.
Don't tell Facebook.
Khana yakhunu means khiyana. You never heard of khiyana? And khon, what's khiyana? You've never heard of khiyana? Khiyanatul amana means not delivering someone their trust, but being disloyal, being treacherous. So, أن الله لا يهدي كيد الخائنين. Allah will not what? Guide the plot of the treacherous. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not allow their plans to actually be actualized. فَصَبَّ عَلَيْهِمْ رَبُّكَ سَوْطَ عَذَابٍ. Sawt عذاب. Ever heard of soap? What's soap? No, that's sawd. Wow, that's salt. Yeah, some people.
So
salta, yasutu. Salt means whip, to whip. So salt means whip. Sawta adab would mean the whip of punishment. Sabba alayhim. Anyone ever heard of the word sabba? You know this. Yes, very good. Sabba alayhim rabbuka would mean?
So Allah poured on them.
Your Lord poured upon them the whip of punishment. Right? It's very baligh. This is very eloquent how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said it. Sabba yasubu means to pour, as you said, cast upon. All right. قالت امرأة العزيز الآن حصحص الحق. امرأة العزيز, what did she say?
Now
حصحص. That's actually a new type of verb. The only reason I'm asking is because look how I have to write that. حصحص. حصحص. This is what we call a ruba'i verb. That means originally, without it being complicated, the root started with 4 root letters. And you have quite a few of those in Arabic. They're probably less than 1%, but there's still quite a few that you might come across. Has is one of them. What does it mean?
to be or become clear, plain, manifest.
Yeah. And some ruba'i verbs happen to have 2 pairs of the same letter repeating. Khashkhashata. Khashkhasha is actually one of them. We have hashasa, damdama, and we also have one that you might have heard of. Let's see. Bakbaka. What is bakbaka?
I'm assuming that's what the chicken says. I don't know.
Yeah, very close. Bakbaka means somebody's like. La tubakbik means stop.
Yapping?
Stop yapping. Perfect word. That's actually what it means. Stop yapping. Actually, I think there's a hadith. There's a statement of Abdullah bin Umar radiallahu anhu saying something along the lines of La tubakbik. Okay. الآن حصحص الحق. What did she say?
Now the truth has become clear.
There. Yes, very good. وإن أوهن البيوت لبيت العنكبوت. Very good, very good. Ohan and Baytul Ankabut. What is Ohan?
The weakest.
What type of phrase is that? What type of noun is that? What type of noun is Ohan?
It's Ism al-Tafid.
Very good. So any time a noun starts with that Hamza Alif, you should be aware. Like Akbaru. Ism al-Tafdil. Like Akbaru, Ajmalu, Ahsanu. This is all called Ism al-Tafdil, the superlative noun. Now, well, we're going to look that up. Ohan, what root letters are there? Wahana. Okay. Wahana in the Arabic language. Wahana. And it can also be pronounced Wahina. The present tense is Yahinu. Wahuna is also possible. Yohunu. How many babs are there to this verb?
I thought they don't like the well and all this kind of stuff.
Except in Bab Karuma. Remember Karuma Yak? Yeah, so that's also this Wahuna Yohunu. Okay, and wahana yahinu, wahina yahinu. So we have bab sami'a, we have bab daraba, we have bab karuma. 3 babs for this verb, which means to be weak. So ohan would mean, like you said, the weakest. Very good. Ohan al-buyuti, the weakest of homes is lab. What's lab? Surely is
the house of the spider.
The house of the spider. Very good. ألم ترى كيف فعل ربك بأصحاب الفيل؟ أصحاب الفيل. Have you not seen what?
How your
Lord dealt with?
How your Lord dealt with
the people of the elephants.
Very good. فاصبر لحكم ربك ولا تكن كصاحب الحوت. What's صاحب الحوت? Very good. لحكم ربك as well. What does this mean?
Be patient to the wisdom of your Lord.
Not the wisdom. Here, hukum is command and order.
Right.
Okay.
And don't be like the
person of the wheel.
Yeah.
Very good. Who is that?
What? No, Yunus.
Yunus alayhi salam. Inna dawwa makdum. All right. Any questions? You guys finally done with mudaf ilayh for life? Never need a lesson on this again? I hope so. All right. We actually have some more important things to understand about ba'du and kullu. These are both words that happen to be in the Arabic language used as mudaf and mudaf ilayh. Used as mudaf.
Okay.
Meaning there's always a mudaf ilayh after them. And if there isn't, that's all right too. Like for example, I can say al-kullu. What does al-kullu mean? Yeah, so like example, someone can say kullu baytin. What do you think that would mean?
All the houses?
All the houses. And then I can say al-kull, all of them. Just all of them. Right? It's weird. But normally you'll see it as a mudaf. Ba'd and kull.
A also, that's what I mean.
A?
A.
What about A?
Alif, yeah.
What about it?
Also acts like mudaf, right?
No. A-U does.
A.
A is a different word.
I didn't do this one.
Yeah, A is a different
I remember
noun.
we learned one word that had acts like mudaf.
Yes. Now, kullu and ba'du are kind of weird. Here's why they're weird. Because if you look at example number 1, kullu tullabi means all of the students. And if you look right underneath it, kullu talibin means
all the students. Or each own.
Every student. We can just say every student. Okay? What's different?
That one is more about one is specific. I don't know. Or you have alif lam. Like definitely indefinite.
Like meaning wise, there's not too much different. But what we understand in Arabic is that the first example, kullu tullabi, kullu is mudaf and the mudaf ilayh is a plural noun. Okay? And in the second example, kullu is mudaf and the mudaf ilayh is a singular noun. But they both roughly mean the exact same thing for all intents and purposes. However, here's the thing. In the first example, there is alif lam, and you will see that if you're trying to give the meaning of the whole, the collective, of multiple individuals, and you're trying to use a plural noun like tullab, you have to use alif lam. I can't say kullu tullabin. I can't say kullu tullabin. But I can say kullu talibin. Are you following? Alright. When I have kullu being used as a mudaf, I want you to think about the mudaf ilay, whatever it is that we're trying to account for. Let's pretend it's pens we're in. Okay? I can say kullu qalamin, which means all the pens. I can say kullul aqlami. So if I use the plural noun after kullu, that plural noun should be preceded by al. And if I use the singular noun after kullu, the singular noun should not have al. If you want them to mean the same thing. Doctor, you got that? Yeah. Alright, so let's try it real quick. But there's a little more details I want to give.
But tullabun is an actual noun, right?
Yes, tullab's a noun.
But we're not allowed to say
kullu tullabin. We don't say that. When using kullu, you want the plural noun afterwards to be definite. And when using kullu, you want the singular noun after it to be indefinite. If you want to give the meaning of multiple things that are being counted. Okay? So if I said, Usalli fi kulli masjidin, what does that mean? I pray in all the masjids, right? And imagine if I say, Usalli fi kullil masajidi. It means the same thing. But in one, masjid was indefinite, and in the example where I said, Usalli fi kullil masajid, al-masajid was definite with alif lam. Here's another detail they didn't give here. So look at number 2. Number 2, we have kullu, and right after kullu, we have a singular noun that's indefinite. I want you to try to make that singular noun definite. How would I say that sentence? Kullu talibi. You know what would happen if we said kullu talibi? We would no longer be saying every student. I would be saying all of that student.
Oh.
Which doesn't make sense here. But let's try it with number 4. Look at number 4. I'm going to skip number 3. Qara'tu kullal kitabi. Now we have a singular word that has al before it. What's the singular word before which we have al? Kitab. Now we're not saying kulla kitabin meaning every book. We're saying kullal kitabi, all of the entirety of that one book. You get it? All of that book. All of the book. So with regards to kull, the 3 simple rules are this. Number 1, if you want to be counting more than one object or person, you either have 2 options. Option 1, use the singular, make it indefinite. Option 2, use the plural and make it definite. If you're not trying to count multiple things, personalities, or objects, but you're just trying to describe the entirety of one thing or person, you would use the singular and you would make it definite.
Say that again?
If you're trying to not describe multiple objects that are being counted, but you want to describe the entirety of one, we would use the singular and we would replace alif lam before it. You got it? So let's think about some alternative examples that we can use in order to emphasize this. I want you guys to tell me, how would I say the following things? I want to say every school is beautiful. I want to also say that in 2 different ways. How do we say that in 2 different ways? Every school is beautiful. And how would I say all the schools are? Kullul madarisi. Jamilatun as well. Very good. So I can say kullu madarasatin, kullul madarisi. What if I wanted to say this whole school is messed up? Or good. Let's say this whole school is good. Is good. Yeah, jayidatun. Kullul madrasati jayidatun. Now I'm not talking about multiple schools. I'm saying the whole school, top to bottom, in and out, is all great. So these are 3 rules to remember when using the word kullu in Arabic. Now the word ba'du has a few rules similar to it. Number 1, you can say, like looking at number 3, we have ba'du tullabi ghaibuna, which means
Some of the students.
That's why ba'du is weird, because I thought it was most, but now it's only a few.
No, it's not most. Mu'adham would be most.
Wow.
Akthar would be most. Aghlab would be most. These are 3 words that are used for most. Ba'du tullabi, some of the students are missing. Just like kullu, we used a plural word after ba'du, and that plural word had to have alif lam before it. Right? Like kullu tullabi and ba'du tullabi. Kullu tullabi means all of the students. Ba'du tullabi means some of the students. But if you look at number 5, another way that ba'd is used is with singular nouns as well. So qara'tu ba'd al-kitabi would mean I read some of
book.
The book.
So is it
So
the
we use the
exact
alif lam
same
singular.
rule as kullu?
No, it's not, because in kullu, if you actually have a singular noun after it that doesn't have alif lam, like for example,
Like how would you say if I said
Ba'd.
قرأت بعض كتاب?
you can say that. قرأت بعض كتاب would mean I read some of a book.
I got you.
You got it? I read a part of a book, some of a book.
I mean, it does look similar to the same rules. I know that Bob does not mean all, but I'm just saying it seems similar in that you're talking about the one book, but like about that book only.
So here's the thing. In the difference between ba'd and kull is this. Remember the scenario number 2? Look at number 2. Kullu talibin. Kullu talibin meant
Each of the students, all the students.
all the students. Ba'du talibin would not mean some students.
What do you mean? بعض الطالب?
That would
Some of
literally,
a student?
yeah, literally it would mean some
Oh.
of a student. So the only difference is you don't have an indefinite noun that's singular after ba'du used to refer to the entire group. I hope I've explained that in a way that makes sense. Once again,
So basically, Ba'd al-Kitabi and Ba'd al-Kitabin mean the same thing?
no, they are very similar. Ba'd al-kitab means part of a book. Ba'd al-kitab means part of the book.
It's just one is definite.
It's just definite and indefinite, yeah. Whereas, kullu talibin and kullu talibi have very different meanings. Kullu talibin means every student, and kullu talibi means what?
All of that student.
Yeah, all of that dude, right? All of his body, every single morsel or every cell in his body, wants to learn knowledge. You could say that, right? So these are some weird rules on mudaf and mudaf ilayh, particularly when you happen to be making the mudaf ba'du or kullu. And these are specific rulings to these two words. Let's go ahead and read the English and see if it actually gives us a little bit more clarity. Can you read that for us, Wad?
The above mentioned examples include a method of idafa frequently used in Arabic. In this method, kullu and ba'du occur as the first term of the idafa phrase, which is mudaf, and the noun following them is the second term, which is the mudaf ilayh. When the meaning of all is to be expressed, the genitive the jar following kullu is plural and defined by al. For example, kullu tullabi. Kullu may also be replaced by jami'.
Like jami' al-tullabi.
Oh,
yeah. Okay.
If the meaning of each or each one of is to be expressed, then the jar following kullu must be definite and single.
No, must be
indefinite and single.
Yes.
Definite and single. Example, kullu talibin.
Yeah, like kullu shay'in. Now, this is when you want to point out each and every single individual. Kullu talibin ya'ti bil wajibat. Each and every student better bring his homework. Okay, but you could also say kullu tullabi. All the students are going to bring their homework. But to emphasize the individuality of each and every one of them, you could say kullu talibin as well. And the third, continue to the last paragraph. If the meaning
of all of or the whole is to be expressed, the jar following kullu is singular and defined by al. Kullu al-kitab.
Which would mean what?
All of the book.
Yeah, the entirety of the book. So I can say, if somebody said, have you even read his book? I said, qara'tu kulla kitabihi. Or kulla al-kitabi. What would that mean?
I read the whole book.
I read the entire book, top to bottom. Not kulla kitabin, which would mean what? I read each and every book. And kulla al-kutubi would mean I read all the books. Okay? Ba'du, very similar. The jar word following ba'du may be plural with alif lam, like ba'du tullab, which means some out of many. And it can be singular with alif lam, which means a little of something, like ba'dul kitabi. I read some of the book, the one book. I read a part of that book.
So the plural is without alif lam?
No. But without alif lam, Like for example, زرت بعض مساجد. No, we don't see that. قرأت بعض كتب فقهية. You could say it. If you wanted to make it indefinite, you could say I read some of Islamic books. You could. But I've never really seen it use that. Wallahu a'lam. بعض الكتاب, like كل and بعض, the word أكثر also appears in إضافة phrase. For example, أكثر الناس would mean the majority of people. Basically, it's not just the word أكثر. Any اسم التفضيل. If you recall when اسم التفضيل is that you said it's a word that's on the pattern of أفعال, which means the most, right? So what are some examples of an اسم التفضيل? أشد. What's another example? أحسن. Right? في أحسن تقويم. أعلم. Usually اسم التفضيل can be used as مضاف as well. Like for example, here he's given أكثر الناس, the majority of people are غافلون, negligent, heedless. أكثر الدروس صعبة, the majority of lessons are difficult. Instead of أكثر, you can also replace it with the word معظم. معظم الطلاب ناجحون, the majority of students are successful. Where does أكثر come from?
Where did this appear? Like, is it also like a mudaf?
Yeah, it's gonna appear as mudaf, right? Because most of, obviously, think about it in English. When you say most, you say of. You always use most as a mudaf, right? So he's just adding that as.
No, because it's just one sentence. You just threw it in one sentence.
Like kullu and ba'du.
The last sentence, that's it.
Yeah. Yeah. And then we have, mu'adham, which is similar to أكثر. معظم الأغنياء مبذرون. Most of the rich, they waste their money. Spendthrift means they waste their money. And قلوب معظم الناس عمياء. The hearts of the majority of people are blind. So, rule number 16b is a good way to summarize all of this. Like kullu and ba'du occur most commonly as the mudaf. Their meaning keeps on changing according to whether this mudaf ilayh is singular or plural, and whether the mudaf ilayh is definite or indefinite. We've looked at all the scenarios. So inshallah tomorrow we're going to go ahead and look at exercise number.
It just says
exercise. And that is the end of this chapter.
Yeah, okay. I need to do those exercises. Because it's easy, like I get it. It's pretty simple. But
the ba'du and kullu, you just need practice.
No, it's not, I just need
you just need practice, man.
I may or may not be here tomorrow. I gotta be at the school.
Okay. Inshallah, if you're not, just do these 15 problems.
The thing is, I could be here because they have this culture day. It starts at 11. So I can leave here like 10:30, but I have to go pick up my sister and take her there. My sister.
Why is that on Saturday?
Because they can't miss school hours, man. By law, they have all these protocols. You can't miss this many hours of instruction. If you're trying to be legit. Yeah, if you're trying to be legit.